Today I want to discuss with you the problems we have with the sugar in our beverages. What we need today is a tax on our sugar sweetened beverages, and this tax I am pro. We should vote yes for it. We should come up with a law to allow the tax to be placed on these beverages. Currently, the average cost of a can of soda is 79 cents. However, the average cost for a bottle of water is $1.22. Now, this alone can let us know how we should be drinking more water, but it costs more to drink water. The soda tax, will increase the price of it. Soda, if it's supposed to be made of, it's made of a fluid, right? We always assume that it's made out of water, and we're wrong, right? If you look at the label, the contents of a soda can, it's made of many different things. My goal today is to persuade you to vote yes for a law that can tax our sugar sweetened beverages. So what we want to start off here is, we think about employment and how the sugar sweetened tax beverage may affect the employment. Well, I have good news for you. No need to worry. It'll actually cause better jobs to come out. An author here, the research done by Lisa Powell, by Roy Wada, and Frank Kalukpa. They're with the Institute of Health Research and Policy for the University of Illinois in Chicago. They use a macroeconomic stimulation model to assess the employment impact, and it had very different scenarios used. And what they ended up determining is that employment actually increased, and it actually even produced better jobs, as opposed to having the blue collar jobs at a warehouse, to work to make these soda cans and beverages. They now are creating government jobs who need to overlook, right, the tax on the sodas. So creates a little bit better jobs, right? You don't want to be misled thinking that, if we put a tax on it, less people are going to buy sodas, and so people are going to lose their jobs. It'll actually create better jobs for them to transition into. So now we understand that jobs are not going to be affected by a sugar tax. Now let's talk about another big problem in our country. 30% of America is overweight. So we want to talk about obesity at this point. A book here that I have from an MD, Dr. F. Batten-Mondelji, illustrates that. This book here, he talks about the body's need and how it cries for water. And a very interesting book here talks about how actually a lot of diseases and sicknesses come due to us depriving ourselves of drinking water. And so in chapter 8 it talks a lot more about the excess body weight that we have, and he tells us here that we actually don't seem to understand when we're thirsty. We don't know the difference between fluids and water. And so a lot of times we think we're thirsty, we want to drink a fluid, but we should be drinking water, which is, our body's made up of water, almost 70% of it. So, very important for us to think about that. When we want to be less obese in our whole country, right, soda should cost more than water. But right now that's not the current situation, so we need this tax in order to push water out more, so that people will pay $1.22 for water instead of $1.50 for a can of soda. And then the last point that I want to go over is an anti-obesity law that we could also enforce with the sugar sweetened tax, beverage tax. If we put a tax on it, we could put those tax funds to good use. We can use that money to help any anti-obesity programs, to help reduce obesity in the country, right? We can get the word out, and we can use what we tax on that soda to create again more jobs, right? It'll help the economy grow, and this law, would be a great benefit to this country here. So in conclusions, my main points are that we take the sugar sweetened beverage tax. It'll create better jobs, and it's going to help with obesity in our country, and as well as it can create programs for any anti-obesities, right, to help those people out there who struggle with this condition. So I hope you can agree with me on this, and remember that right now the tax on soda is just 79 cents a can, or not the tax, but the cost of the soda, and a bottle of water costs $1.22. So we could definitely use a difference there, right? We should be swapping those numbers in order to help our country and our lives.